Hello everybody, welcome back to some Skyrim Special Edition. As you can see, we're at the altar there that's out the one end of Arcwind Point, heading over to this building icon on the map, where we're going to pick up a quest that I don't remember doing. Even though I know that I had to have done it at some point. It's been a little while since I recorded the last part, which would have been, well, for you guys it would have been a couple days ago, it would have been Thursday's part. But even though it's only been a couple hours since I recorded that, actually feeling a lot better than it was then. I don't know why exactly. I do tend to recover from being sick in a couple days, so I imagine by the morning, assuming I get some good sleep tonight, we'll be good to go. Alright, so here we are in Froki's shack. Now, you may not know this, but this is Hammy.
Someday, I'm gonna kill a dragon all by myself.
Tell me about yourself.
Froki won't let me hunt on my own yet, but he never shuts up about killing his first stag when he was 11.
Do you like living here?
It ain't so bad. I miss living with my parents back in Helgen, though. Froki can't cook, and there's nobody to talk to up here.
Were your parents killed at Helgen?
Yeah, but don't say anything about it to Froki. I don't think he understands.
Alright.
Bye.
So yeah, that kid there, his parents were in Helgen when the dragon attacked. Alright, Froki.
Just what we need. City folk barging in. Probably looking for an offering to their precious divines.
What's wrong with the divines?
They're stolen idols. Imposter gods, sold by silver tongues. No thank you. Froki will not forget Kine, or her sacred trials.
What are the sacred trials?
It's an old Nord tradition. A test to prove your worth in the eyes of Kine. Show that you're a hunter, and no simple butcher. Kine teaches us to respect the beasts, and blesses the hunter who will face their champions. True Nord hunters are those who survive the trials. Do you think you're strong enough for Kine's blessing? I would be glad to pass this tradition down.
Yes, tell me what to do.
You must defeat guardian beasts blessed by Kine. I will anoint you with the symbol of the wolf, the crab, and the skeever. This will compel the guardian to appear when you reach his lair. Here's where you need to go.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't think I need those. I mean, we know that Hammy isn't his son. Alright. So I think we've been to at least 2 out of 3 of the locations for this. If not all 3. I don't actually only see 2 markers on my map right now. So unless one is... yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I still only... oh, there it is. It's up north. Yeah, so we've been to every location that these guys spawn at. So we'll go to... oh, right next to our house here. Awesome. Now, theoretically, if you wanted to prove you were a hunter, we should probably use a bow, right? And also, because I think I had the... okay, it did. I wasn't sure if it would remember to auto-equip the arrows, because the last ones I had equipped were dragon bone arrows, or not dragon bone. That's what I had equipped now. Were the practice arrows, which, as you can imagine, don't do very much damage. Alright, so let's try and be a hunter here. We'll get an angle on the wolf with our bow. Can I zoom in? I can. Ha! And then we get that one as well. Alright, awesome. First one down, true hunter fashion. Did not need the pelt from that, but whatever. And ectoplasm, because you may not have been able to see from where we were, but it was a ghost wolf. Which is why it just looked like a white wolf. In fairness, it may not have even been in its ghost form. Because the ghost form things do tend to have a bad habit of not being in their ghost form when you first come across them, so. And that's anything, not even just like these things. Wow, that is one big ass mud crab, man. Okay. There it is. I was like, the fuck? Let's get the Aura Whisper going, because odds are it has mud crabs around it. Yeah, I don't know. It makes the sound like it's hitting them, but then it's not doing any damage, and I don't know if that's... Yeah, I don't know, because that clearly went right where my cursor was, which... Oh, well, that one got him. I don't think it should have, but it did. Oh, she's going in. Alright, well, I'm sure she can deal with the mud crabs. I'm just gonna go and look for the ghost remains. But damn, that was a big mud crab. Where is it? There it is. Some ectoplasm. Are you really having trouble with mud crabs? It's like, you should be one-shotting them. Huh. Yeah, see, I don't know. Some things in here seem to, like, be taking 0 damage, and I don't know why. Oh. Well, AoE works. But yeah, I don't know why they're taking no damage. The Guardian Skeever. The Windward... Well, I mean, odds are we're not going to be able to bow this one, because we're going to probably spawn right on it. Oh, no, I am hidden. Awesome. Ooh, I don't know if I'll be able to get an angle, though. No. Oh. Well, let's hope that I don't collide with anything. Nailed it. How's that for a hunter? Got them all with a bow. And without them being alerted. Just gonna... Now, I do believe that we get another passive effect here. Or I guess, I don't know. They call them active effects, but that's not right, obviously, because it's not... Because active effects is something you activate, obviously.
Need something?
I've defeated the Guardians.
Maybe you're not so soft after all. Now you're ready for a real challenge. I'll anoint you with the symbol of the bear, the saber cat, and the mammoth. Tread carefully. These are mighty beasts. Here's where you need to go.
Alright. Round 2. I'm not 100% sure I can one-shot a mammoth with my bow, but the rest should be fine. Alright, we got one there, one there, one way over here. I guess it doesn't really matter which way we go, but... Or which one we do first. Because we'll just be fast traveling to them all anyway. Alright. Now, what's attacking me? Oh. Gargoyles. Oof, kick the gargoyle in the face. Considering that, well, I don't know if these ones are made out of stone because, like, I mean, they only drop gems and ores, so I'm assuming they are. So I was going to say, these ones here, they seem to be statues and then break out of the statue to attack you, so... I'm not sure that their bodies are stone, but... I guess if, like, ore and that is all they drop, that would lend credence to the fact that they are. I feel like that's pretty much, like, the only two kinds of gargoyles there are, right? Like, obviously, like, they look Like, gargoyles can look vastly different depending on who's creating them and whatnot, right? Because they are just, but the common thing about them is that at some point they're statues. Whether or not they remain statues when you, when they, like, are active is the part that changes. Because, like, in some of them, like the old Gargoyles cartoon, they're very clearly flesh and blood. Although, it's been a long time since I watched that, so I may not want to say that. What am I... There isn't anything here. Oh, there it is. And it immediately detected me. See, this is why people don't like using followers when they're an archer. Now, granted, she isn't somebody who should have probably been running straight up to the bear, but, you know, it's still one of those things where if you have, like, a melee follower, they do tend to get in the way of your spells and that, but that's why I tend to prefer the ranged followers. They make things significantly easier, since you don't have to deal with them in your way nearly as much. Like, obviously, something like that, they can still be in your way because they do have a bad habit of charging forward anyway, but... Alright, let's see. So this one's either... We got the bear, so this is either a saber cat or a mammoth. Hopefully this one is present. Oh, it looks like it's going to be a mammoth. I mean, it looks like it's not going to spawn again. Until I get close enough. There we go, but I managed to stay behind the rock, so... Nice. Oh, this is a Mammoth Graveyard. I remember seeing this place before. I think that there's even a random event you can come across on the roads. I don't know if there's a giant with... I think it's a giant with a mammoth just traveling down the roads, and when you're... If you follow them, they're heading, like, they head all the way over to here. Alright. So now all we got left is the saber cat. Based on the last two, it's not going to spawn until I get close enough, which is weird considering the other ones spawned when you're pretty far out, and yet these ones won't spawn until basically they can detect you. Those Horkers all popped in, though. The nice thing about the mammoth is clearly it detected me at some point, but because it's a mammoth, it still has the mammoth AI. So they don't, like, attack until you get close enough. Oh, well, it's moving, so it must be up and running. Oh, there it is. I fucking hate arrows in this game. I don't know. Like, look at that. Like, look at that nonsense. See, and when you fucking get the kill cam, it's even worse. Like, good. Like, look at how the hell, like, because of the kill cam, this arrow ended up way back here. Like, they really need to fix the arrow collision in this fucking game, man. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I'll go down and get it. I wasn't going to because it's far down here, but we're fast traveling away anyway, so. And like I said, I don't get very much ectoplasm. I mean, there's a couple of quests we'll do where we'll probably get a fuck ton of it, but... Although, do they drop any? Because there's a quest in the Thieves Guild where you fight a fuck ton of ghosts, but I think they might not drop anything. Alright, Froki. I defeated the Guardian Spirits again.
You do kind proud. Only one challenge remains. Go and defeat the Troll Champion. Here's where you need to go.
Okay.
Alright.
Troll really an animal, though? I mean... I guess, but I mean, he's got to be in Grey Winter Watch, right? Because it's a door. Okay, well, I don't think that I'm going to be arrowing this one.
Huh?
Although my sneak went up from this, so that's good. I guess I could. I mean, I need to get in the habit of doing this anyway, considering we're about to do Thieves Guild quests. And at some point, Dark Brotherhood, which will involve a lot of this probably. Although, hopefully, I don't know. Maybe it'll be more trying to get close enough to use daggers and get that 15 times sneak damage. You know. And there we go. We actually did it with the bow. Awesome. Troll fat, troll fat. Not getting my arrows back. Actually, I don't know if I got that skill perk or that perk or not to get more or to get arrows back more often. Where the fuck? Oh, here's Froki's bow. Look at that. Oh, there it is. Nice, I got an arrow back. Because since I respec there, I did put a few more points into my archery, which is probably why I can actually one-shot them, because I also put some points into stealth so that I could get the perk that does the 3 times archery damage. Man, I am feeling so much better than I was at the start of this video. It's weird. Maybe it's the juice.
Make it quick.
I defeated the Guardian. Oh, I found this bow. Is it yours?
I don't believe it. I made that bow myself. Been through some messes with it, let me tell you. You know what? I want you to keep it. My great hunts are behind me, but yours are yet to come.
I've defeated the Guardian Troll.
Then you finally know what it means to be a true hunter in the Nord way. For this, you have earned the blessing of Kine, and can count me as a friend.
Alright. Not that that really does a whole lot for me, but I do believe that we did get another active effect. Hopefully it's just written under... Yeah, it's not. Oh, actually I don't see anything. Huh. I guess I didn't get a blessing. Weird. I could have swore that you got something for it.
You're not as dumb as you look. Until next
Really? Do you not get anything for... I could have swore that you got some kind of effect for completing this.
Still here.
Oh, hang on. We got this. Damage taken from animals is reduced by 10% and bows do 5% more damage. That's what I got. It's not... I mean, I guess it's a blessing. Alright, so there's an... Well, I guess the quest chain isn't that long. Especially not when you've cleared as much of the map as we did. Because obviously that kind of eliminates a lot of the travel time. Women's Hall. Oh, those are really... Oh, I see. Never mind. They're not actually really close. Should we... Because we have another... let's just stay here for now, because we do have another thing to the east, and since we're already up on the mountain, hopefully there's a path to it, but... What I wouldn't give for a useful spell to lead me, like, you know, the Golden Trail in Fable, which I've been wanting to play again. Fable 3, that is. I've been wanting to play again. I tried playing Fable 1. I didn't really care for it. I barely made it out of the tutorial. I'm assuming it gets a lot better. Fable 2, I played...
Take this and hold on to it.
Oh
I'll
my...
be back for it later. No time to talk. Snitch or cross me and I'll kill you. I mean it.
Uh-huh, goodbye. I really wish people would stop fucking giving me shit. But yeah, I played Fable 2 up until the point that it jumps 10 years ahead. Look at his head go. When you go to that tower or whatever. Oh. Circlet of minor archery. Oh. And then that's more or less when I stopped playing, because when you come back from the tower, I don't know, something about the changes that were made and everything I just didn't care for. The thing that probably annoyed me the most about that, though, was, you know, it's a game that has marriage and kids, right? So, you know, and since you jump 10 years in the future with that, right, if you have a kid before you do that quest, obviously it'll next, you know, you do the quest and it'll go right back up. But last time I played it, because they have a thing where you need to keep your spouse happy, which as you're running around doing most stuff is generally fine. You just basically have to go back to your house every now and then and, you know, interact with them, right? It's no big deal. But when you're on your way to, or once you progress in the game a little bit, the locations that you're going to are further and further away. And I don't remember what it is. It's the location just before you head to the tower. I think it might be a dock or something. But it's some place that you go to right before you go to the tower. Some town, port, I think. And no matter, because you get an alert or something when you need to spend time with your family. So that, you know, you don't just end up divorced without any way of...
Look at those ruins. Remarkable.
Yeah, do you see an entrance to them, though? I mean, there's a camp here. But yeah, trying to get to the tower was, like, I ended up divorced because I couldn't get to the tower. Like, I couldn't make it to that city, the port town or whatever it was. In a short enough time to not need to go back and spend time with it. Oh, there we go. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous. Angarvun. And yeah, I ended up divorced right before I did that. The other thing about that one is, which they kind of fixed in 3, but I don't know. It's hard to say which one is better. I'm going to assume that this quest is probably a part of this. Okay. Because like
I'm right behind you.
in Fable 2, whenever you interacted with anybody,
Cowards, every one of them.
you interacted with everybody around. Hey, Madrassi,
I didn't see you there.
you seem troubled.
Of course I'm troubled. I'm on the verge of incredible wealth. But my cowardly workforce ran at the first sign of danger.
What scared them all?
We were excavating this old tomb when we opened a chamber full of corpses. The team took one look, turned tail, and ran.
Haven't they seen dead bodies before?
Well, probably not like these. The ones in there are all still walking around. In any case, if I can't get past the creatures in that room, I can't recover the treasure. I need more manpower.
Maybe I could help you.
Say, that's not a bad idea. You look like you could handle yourself against these beasts. I'll tell you what. You help me get the treasure, and I'll split it with you. Deal?
Deal.
Excellent. With my brains and your brawn, that treasure will soon be mine. Ours. First, I need you to clear the main chamber of those monstrosities. I'll stay here until you're finished, planning our next move.
But anyway, so as I was saying, in Fable 2, whenever you did any of the interactions to raise your relationships with anybody, it it did it to everyone that was around you at the time. Or it affected everyone that was around you at the time. Whereas in 3, you actually had to interact with the specific individual, right? So I mean, both had their benefits, like, because I know in Fable 2, it was really annoying because, like, there was no, like, best friend status for anybody that could be a potential marriage candidate, right? Like, if you, like, let's say you're playing as a male character, any straight female or gay male, if their affinity for you went high enough, would then constantly bug you about marrying them, right? I don't think that they would propose to you, but, like, they would constantly follow you around, they would, and everything, right? It was just super annoying. Whereas in Fable 3, granted, I'm having a little bit of trouble remembering exactly what it was, but either way, that didn't happen. I don't, because I know that there was, like, a best friend status that that was for the people that weren't potential marriage candidates, whether it's because they were already married or they just weren't interested. Oh, both of these are locked, eh? Well, quick scan doesn't show anything, but there's a door there that will lead me around to it. But yeah, like I said, in Fable... Oh, no, we need a key. I'm assuming what's-her-face there probably has it. But yeah, like I said, it wasn't really a problem in Fable 3, and I don't remember if it's because you could set the boundaries once you reached max relationship status, where you could make it where it's like, best friend or potential marriage candidate, you know? Or if it just was that when they were maxed out and in love with you, they just weren't as annoying. Because I don't think that the people with the maxed out relationships followed you around. Like, in Fable 2, when you walk by, like, anyone, basically, with who is in love with you...
Have you killed them all yet?
Yeah, they're all dead.
Then we've no time to lose. Don't fall behind.
But yeah, it was just very annoying in Fable 2. So while raising, like, let's say you wanted an entire city to like you, raising it was faster in Fable 2 because you could raise it with everybody at once, or at least a good chunk of people at once, whereas in Fable 3 you had to do it to each person individually, which did take longer. But then also, if you didn't want somebody, like, let's say you didn't want people falling in love with you all the time, you could just stop raising your relationship with them.
These doors seem to be the only thing left between me and the treasure.
Is there some way to open them?
There'd better be. I didn't come all this way to leave empty-handed. There must be a way to activate these doors deeper in the ruins. Here, take this key. It should open the doors on either side of the chamber.
Okay. But yeah, so it was very much less annoying in Fable 3. Now, a lot of people complain about Fable 3 because, like, if you want to be a good guy, it's like, oh, if you want to be a good guy, then you get screwed at the end of the game. Because you give away all your money and then, like, most of your citizens die, which just isn't true. Because, I mean, I want to say that there was 2 bars that you could raise that were both good and bad bars, you know? Like, one was based off of... One was evil and good, and the other... what the hell was the other one? It was... I don't know. Either way, there was 2 different ones. And the way that you could raise the one that made you good... Because I don't think there was really a reason to have them alternate to each other. Like, I don't think there was a reason to have, like, the good and evil one be good, and then the other one be bad, whatever the fuck it was. Maybe I'm thinking, I don't know. Anyway, I don't think there was, anyway, a reason to do that, but maybe. But anyway, to raise the 1 bar, because they're like, oh, when you buy places, you can't raise the rent to get more money, because that's considered bad, which, you know, obviously if you just buy a house and spike the rent, yeah, you're, you know, obviously you're a prick if you do that. Okay, so that's how you get into that place. There's a Draugr around, I can hear them. But if you were a good guy and you wanted to do it, because, like, obviously the game, like, before you get to the end of the game, a lot of time passes, right? And while obviously having a lot of money really helps out in a lot of situations in that game, more so than in Skyrim, actually, all you had to do when you bought a property, because, like, if you bought a property and didn't change... Oh, wait, are they up? Oh. I think I'm hitting... Yeah, I was hitting the ice action. But yeah, if you bought a property and didn't change the rent, it was considered neutral. If you raised the rent, it was considered bad. And if you... Oh, come on, up. There we go. This will activate something, right? Well... I doubt that it unlocked any of my doors here. And then if you lowered the rent, obviously it was considered good. Now, if you wanted to gain... I really wish I could remember what the other word for it was, but if you wanted to raise your good status really quick, you could buy a property and just have zero rent. Like, it's free. Like, you just live there. That's it. But, and then, like, your goodness meter would skyrocket. Every time rent would have to be paid, your goodness meter would go up, right? Because obviously they're like, look at that, it's time to pay rent. But I don't have to, because my landlord's awesome. But all you had to do to make sure that you had enough gold for the end of the game was just, and stay good, was when you bought a property, just lower its rent by 1 notch. It was like, obviously your good points wouldn't build up as fast, but you would still be getting a good amount of money. So, like, as long as you were buying stuff as you played, you know, like, the way I played it was pretty much every time I came to a place, you know, I would do everything in that place, and then I would try and buy everything in that place. And just like in most games, the way I cut down on the grinding was I just do it up at the beginning. Like, pretty much any RPG outside of Skyrim, where, like, you need to upgrade as you go. When I reach the first place that has, like, a weapon or armor shop, I will grind out that area until I've purchased the best weapons and armor that I can for my party at that point. And then, once I've done that, everything that I gain after that, I don't have to work. Like, it's just extra gold. And for the most part, when I do that, what happens is when I reach the next town, because I haven't been spending my money, all the money that I got from moving from town A, where I bought everything, to town B, would, in general, be enough to then fully upgrade my party again, right? Now, there's some games that doesn't quite work for, but I found more often than not, it definitely works, or at the very least, severely limit your grinding. Now, in some games it does backfire, because, like, I'll buy, like, the best equipment, and then find, like, the same or better equipment, like, fairly, or... Oh, paralyze them off the thing. Find the same or better equipment in, like, the next dungeon we go to, because most RPGs in that, obviously, they do give you gear as you go, so that you don't have to grind as much. But, like, either way, so, like, in Fable, it was the same thing. Like, I would grind out so that I got enough money. I'd do whatever to get enough money to buy all the properties in the very first place that you go to, buy them all, lower all their rent by 1, and then by the time I was done questing in the next area, odds are I had enough to buy everything then as well. Now, that didn't quite work in Fable 2, because the first place that you go to, or the first place that you can buy properties, is just like a little camp. and you don't make very much money off of it. And more importantly, the next place you go to after that is a big city that has like 3 or 4 sections to it that that has a bunch of properties in it. So it doesn't really work in Fable 2. But obviously it does limit it, and then like you can just make sure that you buy the right stuff, or buy the right stuff first. Alright, we're on our way back. I think... Well, no, there was that one door that we couldn't get open, or that we never found an open main thing to, but... I don't think that there's anything particularly... Yeah, there's not really much particularly good here. But like in Fable 3, I think it worked out a little bit better. It's very similar where the first place you go to that you can buy stuff is is kind of ramshackly. You don't make very much money from it, but I don't think you end up in the city quite as quickly. So, you know, it's a little bit, it works a little bit better in that one. And then, yeah, like I said, if you do that, you know, you just buy every property you come across, slap it down, or slap the rent down one, you gain quite a bit of gold. And, yeah, it's not bad at all. And then by the end of the game, even though the good options at the end of the game obviously require you to give away or spend a huge amount of money, which is why people are like, oh, unless you raise the rent, you can't get enough. But it really depends on how much you do before that point. Like I do pretty much everything. Oh, you know what? These guys, that's probably why they keep turning around to fire their Fushroda. I think they try and lead you, so if you run straight at them, they're like, oh, well, where's he going to be when it goes off? And, you know, behind them. Obviously, that's not where you're going to be, because why would you? But, you know, apparently their AI isn't great. Yeah, see, that's exactly what they do, is they're trying to lead me. But yeah, it requires, obviously, you spending a huge amount of money at the end to stay good. But I mean, I beat it, and that's also the only one that I've beat as a bad guy and a good guy. My first playthrough of that game, I played as a bad guy, and then I think every playthrough after that I played as a good guy, but there isn't a huge difference between the two playthroughs. Obviously, a lot of dialogue is different, but gameplay-wise, I mean, some of the areas you go to, and some of the things you gotta do to, if you want to consistently be a bad guy, you gotta be a real prick sometimes, like a ridiculous prick. Like, oh, child labor, that's fine. Let's have more child labor. But yeah, it's I've been kind of itching to play it again, but it's one of those things where it's like I want to play it again, but at the same time, there's so many other things that I could be playing that it's like, yeah. But I mean, there's a few games like that, like Odyssey, like Assassin's Creed Odyssey is another one I've been wanting to play it again, but it's so long. Now the thing with, oh, somebody slowed me. Well, don't use fucking flames, you dumbass. Okay, am I over encumbered? I guess I have. Yeah, I am. I was gonna say, I guess I have been picking up a lot of like ebony weapons and that. You know what? Fuck it. I don't need the ebony weapons. I know that they're worth a lot, but at the same time, they just fucking weigh me down so much considering I don't need the money. Now, granted, Fable 3, not nearly as long as like Assassin's Creed Odyssey or anything, so there's definitely more potential for me to play that one. But I mean, I bought Dying Light and I've barely played it since I bought it. I re-downloaded Dark Souls 2, Been playing a fuck ton of Slime Rancher, although I am kind of stuck on Slime Rancher right now. It's like I'm trying to figure out how I want to do everything with the drones, and just like the fact that the warp depots don't work with the drones is really screwing me over for how I want to do it. That and the chickens. I'm tempted to make some Largos just for the meat-eating ones so that I don't have to deal with chickens. Because it is such a pain in the ass. Because, like, you just don't... Like, you just can't produce enough chickens to keep them fed. Damn it. I should have just ran at them so they turned around again. Hell. But yeah, it's just such a pain in the ass. Oh, like, yes, my light armor is now at 100. Where's the other guy? Okay. Oh, the storm atronach, because then I didn't summon it. So, oh, I got a bonus skill point to something. But yeah, I just don't know what to do about it. Because, like, I don't really care for Largos. I much prefer having, like, a bunch of the little slimes instead of the Largos. But the Largos are 100% more efficient. Like, you get twice as many plorts from them for feeding them. It's actually the only way to get double pink plorts is by combining it with something else so that it'll have a favorite food, because the pink slimes don't have one. So you can't double up their production. I don't know who I'm detected by. Is it you? Maybe it's the storm atronach back there. Yeah, it must have been the storm atronach. But yeah, it's just such a pain. And like the thing is with all of the ranch upgrades, expansions, you know, you have so many plots that, like, even right now, if I had every slime in the game, which I don't, I'm missing a couple. Although I do have a space right here. Either way, if I had every slime in the game and one plot to make whatever food they wanted, I would actually still have spare plots. Like if I had one corral full of slimes with one garden or, you know, whatever chicken thing coop to produce their food, I would still have areas left over. So, like, if I do go the Largo route, which I'm leaning more towards just for certain ones, like I said, just because they're such a pain in the ass. Oh, there's two Gargoyles there. Then that would technically limit how many plots I needed even more, unless I want to double up on certain combinations. But I mean, even that, like, finding which ones to put together, because like you don't want to put two together that both have an annoying thing to them, you know, like there's something called Mosaic Slimes, and they create little lights in the air, which is really cool. But if they become agitated, then those lights that they make in the air fall to the ground and explode. It's like if you combine one of them with like a boom slime or something, obviously it's gonna suck. Because there's just gonna be, like, if they get hungry, there's gonna be so many explosions. And for some reason, I feel like I'm having a weird thing with my gardens in that game, where like the gardens in the main part of the ranch, like in the main area, aren't producing as much as they should, whereas the ones in the side areas of the ranch and any of the expansions seems to be overproducing. Like, it's weird. Like, the things that I have, like, I looked it up, and everything that you plant in a garden is supposed to have the same amount per harvest, and obviously they have the same amount of harvest time. Wraith's wedding diary? Or dowry? Nope, that's too long. What was I saying now?
Huh?
Oh, right, the food, yeah. So, like, everything should produce, but, like, the stuff in my side areas or in my expansions get way more food than they need. Like, there's food fucking everywhere inside the corrals. It's ridiculous. Whereas the stuff in my main area seem to be running out of food consistently. Like, it's a little ridiculous, and I don't know what's causing it.
Treasure is mine. All mine.
Oh, that's a shame. Also, the chest is empty. There's a coin purse in it, though. And a broken steel sword handle, which I'll take because it is technically a rare item. I wonder, can I... What do I have for a shout right now? Or a whisper. I was going to say, I might be able to, like, Foost her daughter off of there, but... I already got that key, so I don't need that. Alright. Yeah, that's my talk on my issues in Slime Ranch right now. I'm tempted to combine, like, the boom slimes with the rat slimes, because, like, both of them, they're probably the two most annoying slimes for just, like, passive things. Because, like, the rat slimes all have an aura around them that, builds up your radiation, and once your radiation is maxed out, I actually can't remember if, like, when it maxes out it starts to do damage or if it just straight up kills you. I don't remember. And then the boom slimes once again explode a lot, whether or not they're fed. They tend to explode a lot, so you generally don't want to be near them, or you want to be near them as little as possible. Pack Animal Allegiance. Animal, get up there. Animal Allegiance would be up at the top. Hey, look at that. We got all of the Animal Allegiance shouts. And I stepped on something. I guess we just leave the way we came in then, because it doesn't seem like there's a back exit to this place, which leads me to wonder what was with that one door that we got, or that we saw, but maybe we did get past it and I just didn't notice. It was actually a little bit longer dungeon than I thought it was going to be. But I'm glad we did it, because that's another quest down. And we're getting very, very close to all the locations unlocked on the map, at least on the main map. Obviously, we have a lot of locations in Dawnguard to do, but as long as I remember to save certain things, we should be able to get through Dawnguard. Because, like, last time I played this, I basically went to Dawnguard almost as soon as I started, as early as I could. And I 100%ed it. Oh, there's can address these notes. Okay, this isn't very long. But whispers of this ancient temple have been few and far between, and most real knowledge seems similar to Angenvund itself, buried and forgotten. Yet every story or legend I hear all seem to speak of immeasurable riches found deep within. Great treasure waits for the worthy adventurer, said one old fool after many false flirtations and tankards of mead. Though he may have been a nuisance, his information matches most of my research, specifically the location of Angenvund. Tomorrow I will hire a mining team to assist me in my excavation and head towards the ruin. By this time next month, I shall be rich. Nope, you shall be dead. Not because I killed you either. I mean, I honestly probably wouldn't have cared if you had taken the treasure, because, you know, once again, don't really need it. But I think we'll call it there for today. We actually got... Here, let me get They basically just did 2 quests in this. Yeah, I was gonna say we got most of the things at the south done, but I guess it's not really true. We got quite a few of them though. So yeah, next part I don't know. We'll see how I feel. We'll either start up the Thieves Guild quest or we'll just finish off all of the locations so that we have the entire map revealed. Because I mean, look at it. It's ridiculous how many locations we've been to. So thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next week for more.